Hello and welcome back to Tesla News. My name is Marian and I'm your host today, and I'm glad to have you back here on my channel. Next week I'm gonna be in vacation, so I prepared short, very crisp videos for you based on certain topics, and I would be glad to have you back here on my channel as well next week. Let's look into Canada. So Canada is actually being the #1 candidate to actually get a new factory from Tesla side. So it really looks like it. We have all these indication, we have all these information. So it looks like Canada could be the next big construction site when it comes to building a new factory. For Giga Shanghai, we do know that there's stuff already going on. If that is going to be considered an expansion or a new factory is not sure yet. Let's see. Maybe we're going to see even 2 factories announced this year. Then look into the comparison one more time, because sometimes you can easily forget what size we are talking about when we are looking into Austin. This is just the land that Tesla could build stuff on. And Giga Berlin, it is just this very, very small part that they are currently operating on. And if they could achieve 500,000 cars plus, that would be a very good achievement here. We have as well Fremont down there, Giga Shanghai up there, and of course Giga Nevada. But I do think you kind of can get an impression here what expansion possibilities are still there at each location. I mean, they could actually even start building cars in Nevada if they would like to, and just build the factory and make it bigger. Then looking into Giga Berlin and Giga Berlin exports, because they are working pretty well so far. We are looking into numbers from Norway, and I'm just taking Norway as an example here. And you see that in September, post-July, upgrade cars are arriving in Norway. But not only that, we also see Model Y long range arriving in Norway. We're going to look into the stats in a moment. So it's clearly the way that Tesla is exporting. Some of you from Israel, or one person was actually saying cars are coming to Israel from Giga Berlin. So exports are working pretty well. I do expect a lot of Germans to receive cars in September. So if we look into the numbers here, you clearly see that the increase of numbers for the long range is there. And this is definitely not for rental companies. In Germany, a lot of rental companies are getting Model Y long range and performance as well, but mostly Model Y long range. So this could be the reason why German people haven't received so many VIN numbers for the Model Y long range yet. Then for the daily registrations here for the Norwegian market, we also see over 1,000 cars. So that is when we have carriers arriving in Norway and bringing more cars from Germany. And you see that we were on a good track mode here in June. In June, there was actually a lot of deliveries in Norway. So we can expect in Q4 that to increase, because of course the production here is ramping, as I mentioned many times. And yes, we are close to 2,000 cars per week. This is the indication I was telling you in my last video. Now let's look into the carrier situation here. We have the Glovis Challenge moving towards Barcelona. Then we have Glovis Sunrise moving towards Southampton, and might be afterwards actually going to Zeebrugge. Then we have 3 more ships, the Glovis Crystal, the Glovis Sun, and the Glovis Courage. So all combined, 5 more carriers on their way to Europe. And this should then give you hopefully your car that you were hoping for in Q3. If that's not the case, just as a reminder, and I said that yesterday in my live stream, that many people are asking what's happening with my order that I have had for the first half of the year. So based on information I received, everybody that ordered a car in the first half of this year should be getting it in Q4 latest. Of course, it's not including cars that are not even produced yet. So if you have a color or white leather seats, that is not the guarantee for it. But for everything that is currently being produced, you should receive your car this year. Then looking into the Megapack situation, which is clearly working pretty well because there are 50 new positions in Lathrop. So the expansion of production seems to happen very good here. Megapack, very important business model and very important as well for the European market. And as someone was asking, when do you expect Tesla to do such a factory in Europe? I hope it's going to come. It's a huge business and Tesla should definitely come to Europe for that as well. Then for the record supercharger, 164 stalls. I mean, it's just getting bigger and bigger. And this is something that I would support as well, that Tesla's building a supercharger production site in Europe to expand its range and fleet of superchargers out there. So it's out of a question where you should charge your EV. I'm just saying EV as in Europe. We have many places where you can charge at the supercharger as a non-Tesla owner. So this is as well good news. And we're also going to look into more updates. In this case, the safety record. We have the Tesla Model Y, Genesis GV60 and Kia Niro. So the Model Y is the best car in its category, and in general, it has just a crazy safety record, something that no other car has achieved before. We're also going to look into the list. Volkswagen ID5, ID4 are way behind. Mercedes EQS is coming closer, but again, 92%. And the next one is at 89. So no other car has actually achieved 92% or 90%. The Renault Zoe, I don't need to talk about that one. It looks like it's not as safe if you look into the last position of 38%. So overall score, record score, and being in the leading position, that is again some great news for Tesla. But again, for those supporting Tesla, it's not such a big surprise, as we all know how safe the cars are, and we do know that Tesla is in the lead when it comes to safety. So I want to say thank you for your support. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm going to be in vacation mode next week. But I would be glad to welcome you as well here next week for short, crisp, good videos that I was preparing for you based on specific topics. So I would be very glad to have you here. So thank you very much for your support. I do wish you a wonderful day and a good weekend as well already ahead. And hope to see you back here on Sunday next week and in between, of course.